So, last week's news of a couple of divas sparring broke the internet. It's a full-on war out there, man. I wouldn't know because I don't actually watch any of these videos, but I get suggested the titles, I see the thumbnails, and I have read some comments. Oh boy. How are you doing? Are you upset? Are you excited? Did this make you angry? Oh, put the appropriate emoji in the comment section below. Rate, comment, sub, you know the deal. Check out my Cash App. I think I have a Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon, things of that nature. Don't let YouTube completely kill my channel. Who else is gonna tell you the truth? It ain't gonna be showbiz. So, I had a feeling that it wouldn't take but maybe 30 seconds before Showbiz in his video talking about this latest and greatest development would be selling tickets to the fight. And maybe he does that with every video, I don't know, but I went and checked and lo and behold, so you know what's going on. But yeah, people are at each other's throats, upset with Boots Ennis, calling him a sellout and things of that nature, inferring all kinds of emotional motive for why he's doing this. It's not the money, no, it has nothing to do with the money. It's because he's mad at Crawford. They're merely just projecting that they themselves are extremely emotional beings. You got, what's his name? With his, Canelo Crawford masterstroke. Oh my god, he's fighting a top level fighter, so he thinks, right? So, guys, he got the game figured out, bro. If you're fighting a top level fighter, why not, and get this, a southpaw, why not spar a top level southpaw? Mind blown. Canelo's masterstroke. I mean, what do you do, guys? What do you do? Well, pull your pants down and show your ass just to get some views. That's what they do. I'd like to be a fly on the wall, checking out some of these, patty cake sparring sessions in Canelo's gym where the better fighter, taller, rangier guy is just letting him in and allowing Canelo to do whatever he wants to do because that's what they pay him for, right? Sparring session is a fixed fight. And we all know how that translates into Canelo's exhibitions, if you will. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that Terence Crawford gym where he's playing grab ass with all his buddies. I mean, if you check out Crawford's preparation for this fight, it's all smiles, right? It's so happy. Zero intensity. And likewise with Canelo. Zero intensity. There's no intensity in preparation for this fight. They're just getting into their beach bodies so they could have a good showing on the scale and I guess in that ring insofar as aesthetics are concerned. But this is all surface level BS in my opinion. So let's not talk about that nonsense too much. But what was it? Maybe 2 days after the fight was announced, Turkey Ala Sheikh, the most honest man in the business, came out saying that 75% of the tickets were already sold, so get yours, right? I looked at StubHub, and you could still get 27 tickets in a row in like 4 or 5 different sections. And when it comes to 4 contiguous seats, every section got them and probably multitudes thereof. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say that this fight is selling poorly because I don't know what that would mean exactly. And I know the tickets are very expensive, but rest assured, it's not selling as well as they wanted to. They needed to in order to get their money back. Canelo hasn't had a mega fight in Vegas since Triple G, and that turned out to be a dud of a sparring session where both guys carried each other. So those in the know understand that there's a very high probability that this will be exactly that. Terence Crawford is not a Vegas fighter, and last time he had a big mega fight in Vegas was, wow, 2 years ago. And the fight, all things considered, turned out to be very disappointing because it was supposed to be 50-50 and at least 50% of the fans attending the fight. All right. Let's be real here. Spence had many more fans than Terence Crawford, or more fans. So at least 50% of people attending the fight or watching it on their device TV were very disappointed. Now the Crawford fans were probably excited or whatever, but that's only half the battle, man. That fight, all things considered, how much it was hyped up, what it was supposed to be, right, turned out to be a dud because Errol Spence had not lived the life. He had that car accident and he could barely make the weight. And when it came to the rematch at 154, which was promised, whoa, what happened to that? And ultimately, as we all know, this isn't a fight anybody wanted. Nobody was asking for this fight. They've been promoting this fight for 4 years, trying to shove it down our throats. Canelo and Crawford themselves did not want the fight. Terence Crawford said he's too big, and Canelo Alvarez said he's too small. And everybody agreed. But now it's, boxing fans will buy poop on a stick. And sorry to say, but you're full of it. Those of you that are. This other guy I started watching a little bit recently, always talking about the emotional roller coaster that Canelo fans are on leading into this fight. That same guy who himself made something like 30 videos since the fight was announced about this very fight. Always inferring emotional motives into why fighters do what they do. Projecting. There's actually very little fight talk going on, or people talking about the actual fight, or at the very least, in my opinion, what's going to happen on fight night and getting it right? Because it's just isn't a real fight. This is an exhibition, guys. This is going to be like Triple G, Canelo 3, both guys carrying each other. This is going to be like Canelo versus Bivol, with both guys carrying each other. Robbing the bank, you dupes. But yeah, right after the fight was announced, couple of days maybe, Turki Al-Sheikh, the most honest man in boxing, came out and said that 75% of the tickets were sold. Yeah, maybe in the secondary market. Maybe, at best. All you gotta do is go to StubHub and check out, try to ascertain how many tickets are available. You'll see that you could get up to like 27 seats in a row in like 4 or 5 different sections. And when it comes to 4 contiguous seats, every single section got them, and probably multiples thereof. But I'm not gonna tell you that this fight is not selling well or is selling poorly, because ultimately I don't know. What I'm fairly certain is happening is that it's not selling as well as they had hoped it would. So in comes Boots Ennis. We gotta create drama, right? That same Boots Ennis that's been sparring with Canelo for at least 3 months. And I'm pretty sure I heard news, saw photos of the two men something like even a year ago. But this time, it's different because all the DAZN employees got their marching order, the memo was released, and they're pushing this, non-development. Canelo probably owes Eddie Hearn a favor, and Boots is getting paid well, right? Boots is was already supposed to be a superstar according to Eddie Hearn, but it's extremely difficult to promote these divas like Shakur, Crawford, Boots Ennis, because they don't really want to fight anybody unless it's M's, right? Unless they're drained at the weight on their last leg and they're getting $25 million, right? They don't want to fight anyone. Last time Canelo had a big fight in Vegas, it was Triple G3, and that was a dud of a sparring session. Didn't live up to expectations. And since then, it's been nobody's, basically, or at least anybody cared about. Definitely not the Vegas crowd. Canelo's ticket sales popularity has been waning. A lot of boxing fans just got tired of the grift, man. Crawford, for his part, he's not a Vegas fighter, but last time he had a significant fight in Vegas was the only significant fight he had in Vegas, and that was more than 2 years ago. And all things considered, that turned out to be a dud too. You have to be honest about it, because even though Crawford's fanboys found the fight exciting, well, that wasn't the case for the other team, right? Which, given the fact that Errol Spence is a more popular fighter than Terence Crawford, was more than 50% of the people attending or watching on their device, right? The fight was promoted as 50-50, one of the greatest fights ever, and due to Spence's extracurricular activities outside of the ring, his car accident, being drained at the weight, and who knows about Crawford's gloves, right? I mean, let's throw that in there. The fight turned out to be a mismatch. So just because half of the crowd, if I'm being generous, there liked it, the other half were extremely disappointed and pissed off. They got duped. So neither Crawford or Canelo are able to carry a mega fight by themselves, and together it's dubious because when they first started promoting this fight 4 or 5 years ago, what did Crawford say? Crawford said he's too big, and Canelo said he's too small, and everybody agreed. This wasn't some fight that presented itself organically. Crawford was the little guy at 147, right? That was going to be the max. And here we are, 3 more divisions. And it's damn near 50-50. I mean, if you thought Maypac was bad, what do you got to say about this? This has to be the fakest mega fight in the history of the sport. But today's boxing fan is so desperate, so starved, and so young and naive that they'll buy poop on the stick. And that's what you're getting, ladies and gentlemen. And you're being charged so much money for it that they're struggling to sell the way they want it to sell. So in comes Jaron Ennis. We got to create all this fake drama, despite the fact that these two have been sparring probably for years now. Nobody cared when it came out 3 months ago that Canelo, right? The king, the dictator. He flew to Jaron Ennis' hometown to spar him. That didn't make the news. Well, because the DAZN employees didn't get their marching order back then like they did the other day. The fight's not selling well enough. We need drama. We need to start a war. We need to get these people mad, angry, at each other's throats. And who better to get the ball rolling than the Zone's own minstrel show? And everybody else falls in line because, well, he got views, so what about me?